The question number 301. Question. What major social reform did Prime Minister Lester B. Pearson oversee during his term? Option A. Introduction of universal health care. Option B. Official bilingualism. Option C. Abolition of the death penalty. Option D. Women's suffrage. The answer is option A. Introduction of universal health care. Question number 302. Question. Which Canadian city hosted the Expo 67 World's Fair? Option A. Montreal. Option B. Toronto. Option C. Vancouver. Option D. Ottawa. The answer is option A. Montreal. Question number 303. Question. Which city is the largest city of Canada and main financial center? Option A. Montreal. Option B. Toronto. Option C. Vancouver. Option D. Calgary. The answer is option B. Toronto. Question number 304. Question. Which of the following province was not part of the Confederation in 1867? Option A. New Brunswick. Option B. Nova Scotia. Option C. Ontario. Option D. Newfoundland and Labrador. The answer is option D. Newfoundland and Labrador. Question number 305. Question. The French were defeated in the Battle of the Plains of Abraham in the city. Option A. Ottawa. Option B. Quebec City. Option C. Toronto. Option D. Montreal. The answer is option B. Quebec City. Question number 306. Question. Canada's head of state is represented by which figure? Option A. The Prime Minister. Option B. The Governor General. Option C. The President of the Senate. Option D. The Chief Justice. The answer is option B. The Governor General. Question number 307. Question. Which Canadian province was the last to join Confederation? Option A. Alberta. Option B. Newfoundland and Labrador. Option C. British Columbia. Option D. Saskatchewan. The answer is option B. Newfoundland and Labrador. Question number 308. Question. Which is the largest city in Canada? Option A. Vancouver. Option B. Toronto. Option C. Ottawa. Option D. Montreal. The answer is option B. Toronto. Question number 309. Question. Which province is the home of over 700 annual festivals? Option A. Newfoundland and Labrador. Option B. Nova Scotia. Option C. Prince Edward Island. Option D. New Brunswick. The answer is option A. Newfoundland and Labrador. Question number 310. Question. In what year did Canada achieve full sovereignty, independent of Britain, with the ability to amend its own constitution? Option A. 1982. Option B. 1967. Option C. 1931. Option D. 1949. The answer is option A. 1982. Question number 311. Question. The Canadian motto, "From sea to sea," is based on which Bible verse? Option A. Psalm 72:8. Option B. Genesis 1:28. Option C. Exodus 14:21. Option D. Matthew 28:19. The answer is option A. Psalm 72:8. Question number 312. Question. When is Canada Day celebrated? Option A. 1 June. Option B. 4 June. Option C. 21 May. Option D. 31 November. The answer is option A. 1 June. Question number 313. Question: What is celebrated on the 1st of July in Canada? Option A, Victoria Day. Option B, Canada Day. Option C, Remembrance Day. Option D, Labor Day. The answer is option B, Canada Day. Question number 3-4 Question: What significant environmental conference hosted by Canada in 1987 led to a key treaty on atmospheric protection? Option A, the Montreal Protocol Conference. Option B, the Kyoto Summit. Option C, the Vancouver Climate Conference. Option D, the Toronto Global Forum. The answer is option A, the Montreal Protocol Conference. Question number 315. Question: Canadians have a right to live and work? Option A, in the province of their birth. Option B, where they are registered to vote. Option C, where they have driving license. Option D, anywhere in Canada. The answer is option D, anywhere in Canada. Question number 316. Question: Curling was introduced into Canada by immigrants from the country? Option A, Norway. Option B, Iceland. Option C, Sweden. Option D, Scotland. The answer is option D, Scotland. Question number 317. Question: Who was the first European explorer arrived in Canada in 1497? Option A, Jacques Cartier. Option B, Christopher Columbus. Option C, Captain Cook. Option D, John Cabot. The answer is option D, John Cabot. Question number 318. Question: Who was the first female astronaut to participate in a Canadian space mission? Option A, Roberta Bondar. Option B, Julie Payette. Option C, Marc Garneau. Option D, Chris Hadfield. The answer is option A, Roberta Bondar. Question number 319. Question: Which city is the capital of Saskatchewan? Option A, Edmonton. Option B, Toronto. Option C, Moncton. Option D, Regina. The answer is option D, Regina. Question number 320. Question: Which landmark Canadian law was passed in 1982, significantly shaping the country's approach to human rights and freedoms? Option A, the Constitution Act. Option B, the Canadian Human Rights Act. Option C, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Option D, the Bill of Rights. The answer is option C, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Question number 321. Question: How many Canadians lost their lives in Korean War during 1950-1953? Option A, 1,000. Option B, 500. Option C, 261. Option D, 4,000. The answer is option B, 500. Question number 322. Question: Which Canadian city is known for its pioneering work in AI and machine learning, hosting significant research institutions? Option A, Montreal. Option B, Toronto. Option C, Vancouver. Option D, Calgary. The answer is option A, Montreal. Question number 323. Question: How many Acadians were deported during the 1755-1763 war between the French and the British? Option A, all. Option B, half. Option C, 2/3. Option D, 1/3. The answer is option C, 2/3. Question number 324. Question in Canada. First started appearing on maps in option A, 1450s. Option B, 1750s. Option C, 1650s. Option D, 1550s. The answer is option D, 1550s. Question number 325. Question: the first Canadian woman to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is option A, Joni Mitchell, option B, Celine Dion, option C, Alanis Morissette, option D, Shania Twain. The answer is option A, Joni Mitchell. Question number 326. Question: which of the following is not the responsibility of the citizenship? Option A, voting in election. Option B, helping others in the community. Option C, serve in the Canadian Forces. Option D, protecting and enjoying our heritage and environment. The answer is option B, helping others in the community. Question number 327. Question: who defend the vast North Arctic region of Canada? Option A, Canadian Forces. Option B, Canadian Militia. Option C, Federal Police. Option D, Canadian Rangers. The answer is option D, Canadian Rangers. Question number 328. Question: what is the highest waterfall in Canada? Option A, Kakabeka Falls. Option B, Niagara Falls. Option C, Bridal Veil Falls. Option D, Della Falls. The answer is option A, Kakabeka Falls. Question number 329. Question: which event is commemorated by the Canadian holiday Victoria Day? Option A, the birthday of Queen Victoria. Option B, the Confederation of Canada. Option C, the end of the War of 1812. Option D, the signing of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. The answer is option A, the birthday of Queen Victoria. Question number 330. Question on Remembrance Day. Canadian recite to honor the brave men and women who have served Canada. Option A, O Canada. Option B, In Flanders Fields. Option C, Royal Anthem. Option D, National Anthem. The answer is option B, In Flanders Fields. Question number 331. Question: which sport is the second most popular in Canada? Option A, football. Option B, skiing. Option C, curling. Option D, hockey. The answer is option D, hockey. Question number 332. Question: what is the primary focus of the Governor General's Literary Awards? Option A, Canadian fiction and non-fiction literature. Option B, advancements in Canadian science and technology. Option C, contributions to Canadian music. Option D, excellence in Canadian sports. The answer is option A, Canadian fiction and non-fiction literature. Question number 333. Question: which sport has more registered players in Canada? Option A, soccer. Option B, tennis. Option C, athletics. Option D, hockey. The answer is option A, soccer. Question number 334. Question: who appoints the Governor General? Option A, the House of Commons. Option B, the Prime Minister on the advice of the Sovereign. Option C, the Canadian electorate. Option D, the Sovereign on the advice of the Prime Minister. The answer is option D, the Sovereign on the advice of the Prime Minister. Question number 335. Question: Ottawa formed the Canadian Expeditionary Force in option A, 1914, option B, 1867, option C, 1905, option D, 1944. The answer is option A, 1914. Question number 336. Question: what historic event led to the French and English bilingual character of Canada? Option A, the War of 1812. Option B, the Royal Proclamation of 1763. Option C, the Quebec Act of 1774. Option D, the Constitution Act of 1867. The answer is option C, the Quebec Act of 1774. Question number 337. Question: how many Acadian were deported during 1755-1763 war, also known as Great Upheaval? Option A, 1/3. Option B, 2/3. Option C, 2/4. Option D, all. The answer is option B, 2/3. Question number 338. Question: the historic region of Acadia, where early French settlers lived, is now primarily part of which Canadian province? Option A, Nova Scotia. Option B, New Brunswick. Option C, Quebec. Option D, Prince Edward Island. The answer is option A, Nova Scotia. Question number 339. Question: Canada's highest civilian award for merit is known as? Option A, the Order of Canada. Option B, the Victoria Cross. Option C, the Canadian Medal of Honor. Option D, the Cross of Valour. The answer is option A, the Order of Canada. Question number 340. Question: which of these is not a major political party in Canada? Option A, the New Democratic Party. Option B, the Conservative Party. Option C, the Liberal Party. Option D, the Labour Party. The answer is option D, the Labour Party. Question number 341. Question: what is the significance of the Quebec Act of 1774 in Canadian history? Option A, it recognized French civil law. Option B, it granted freedom of language and religion. Option C, it marked Quebec's independence. Option D, it established the Quebec provincial government. The answer is option A, it recognized French civil law. Question number 342. Question: all Aboriginal people who are neither Inuit nor Métis are known as? Option A, Red Indians. Option B, French. Option C, European. Option D, First Nations. The answer is option D, First Nations. Question number 343. Question: red and white have been the national colors of Canada since? Option A, 1901. Option B, 1911. Option C, 1921. Option D, 1931. The answer is option C, 1921. Question number 344. Question: in what year did Americans try to invade Quebec? Option A, 1776. Option B, 1775. Option C, 1771. Option D, 1769. The answer is option B, 1775. Question number 345. Question: what pivotal role does the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms play within the Constitution? Option A, outlines the structure of the parliamentary system. Option B, guarantees the basic rights and freedoms of citizens. Option C, establishes the division of powers between federal and provincial governments. Option D, protects the rights to bilingualism. The answer is option B, guarantees the basic rights and freedoms of citizens. Question number 346. Question: what is the primary purpose of the Canada Health Act of 1984? Option A, to provide free health care for all Canadian citizens. Option B, to ensure all Canadians have access to quality health care. Option C, to privatize healthcare services. Option D, to integrate traditional medicine into the healthcare system. The answer is option B, to ensure all Canadians have access to quality healthcare. Question number 347. Question: How many Canadian and Newfoundlanders served in World War II? Option A, 250,000. Option B, 500,000. Option C, 600,000. Option D, over 1 million. The answer is option D, over 1 million. Question number 348. Question: what is one of the primary industries in Canada's Northern Territories? Option A, information technology. Option B, fishing. Option C, mining. Option D, agriculture. The answer is option C, mining. Question number 349. Question: what principle is the Canadian legal system founded on? Option A, the adversarial system. Option B, the inquisitorial system. Option C, the principle of justice. Option D, the rule of law. The answer is option D, the rule of law. Question number 350. Question: Quebec lost how many referendums for sovereignty? Option A, 1. Option B, 2. Option C, 3. Option D, 5. The answer is option B, 2.